Today, it's time to finish a wave of figures and talk about a question that I get quite a bit here at Paul's Collectibles. Let's get into these. All right, welcome to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about two more of the vintage collection 3 3/4 inch action figures that for me will complete a wave that I actually started a few videos ago. The Ben Kenobi and the Mace Windu. Now these are both reissues and they're part of what was called the specialty wave. Here's the funny part, and this actually ties into the question that I'm going to talk about today. I had this entire case on order from two places, Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, I believe. But regardless, it showed that those weren't supposed to get here until August sometime, maybe July at the earliest. But the funny thing was, as I started to pay attention, I noticed that out of the blue, Big Bad Toy Store got the Anakin figure in early. And so I ordered him just to go ahead and start off the wave. And if you've been paying attention to my videos, you kind of see where I'm going with this. And the same thing happened with the Ahsoka figure. She came in somewhere early as well. They were in stock very quickly and then right back out of stock, but without the whole wave showing up. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for the whole wave to show up from Entertainment Earth in a case. And then I was looking around on GameStop and I noticed that Obi-Wan Kenobi was in stock there. So I went ahead and ordered him. And then finally, a couple of days later, Mace Windu came in. So the question that someone might ask me, and I got it a lot of my last video about the Bo-Katan helmet, because it wasn't even due here till November, is, Paul, how did you get those so early? And that's the funny part. I didn't really do anything that's all that magical. If you want to talk about somebody who gets stuff in early, as a quick aside, you should go check out Tim over at Bosk's Bounty. He gets stuff in way early, either because it got to the UK early or because he has connections. So I can highly recommend that. But regardless, I didn't really get these that early. I just happened to continue to search around. And the same thing happened with the Bo-Katan helmet last video. She wasn't due here until November, but a couple of the retailers said they were going to get her here in April or May. And so I ordered from them and they kept pushing it back. Meanwhile, Dorkside Toys and Big Bad Toy Store got them in stock. So I ordered from them. So what's the moral of the story here? The pre-order dates that they put on these figures and these helmets and these collectibles are just about worthless. So you kind of have to keep an eye out. Sometimes they'll push it way back out. As an example, the company that told me they were going to be getting my Bo-Katan helmet to me in April or May, GameStop, still keeps pushing it back and hasn't gotten it to me. Meanwhile, the other two people who said November have gotten them in stock and have already started delivering them. And last I checked, they had them in stock. So you really just kind of have to pay attention to the different online retailers. I go with Target and Walmart sometimes because I have to, due to exclusives. And then the rest of the time, I usually hit GameStop, Dorkside Toys, Big Bad Toy Store, and Entertainment Earth. And I've seen a lot of people complain that there's a very specific retailer that never gets things in. I used to think it was Dorkside Toys, but now they're the ones getting everything in quickly, and other ones are slow. So you just really kind of have to pay attention, keep an eye out, and if you're interested in getting your stuff early, kind of manage your pre-orders. That's the best way to describe it. But with that, let's get Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi in front of some lights and add them to the collection of the specialty wave with Anakin and Ahsoka. Okay, first up, let's take a look at this new Obi-Wan Kenobi, or this reissued Obi-Wan Kenobi. He comes on the Star Wars Attack of the Clones card. There's the logo right there with the blue name pill, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and blue back. Now you'll notice here there's probably just a slight bit of damage to the bubble, and that's because this came from GameStop, and I'm discovering that GameStop's shipping is hit or miss. This time it was miss, but what are you gonna do? Let's take a look at this card, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little disappointed with the picture they chose for this card. Now I know this is a reissue, so they didn't have a choice. They just reissued the same card, but the one they picked last time then. This is one of those scenes where Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ewan McGregor, had to do some reshoots, and he's got that fake beard they put on him, and it looked off in Attack of the Clones, and it was kind of disappointing. You can also see the same thing with his wig in the Phantom Menace, I believe it is, where they had to bring him back for reshoots, and he's visibly a little heavier, and the wig doesn't look right, but this is that fake beard they put on him. And I would think if you're going to memorialize him on a character, you would pick a better shot, a better picture, a better part of the movie when he was made up correctly. Now, other than that, that's a pretty cool card. I like the way that he's looking pensive and wise, as if he's studying, trying to figure out what his next move is, which is right in line with Obi-Wan Kenobi as a character. And I don't mind that yellowish tint to the card as well. But let's get a good look at that figure. Now, right off the bat, I can't lie, I'm trying to decide what I think about his hair color and his beard color, and it's so weird because when I get it in the photography lights, it looks like the color is a lot more proper, like it's the proper brown, brownish red, not so much red. But when I'm looking at it in the viewfinder of my camera, it actually looks like it's the oranger color that I see when I get it under the camera lights. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's good and that the hair color is okay, because it's so weird. This is one of those streams when, depending on what light you're looking at it in, it looks a different color. But the face sculpt, they made him look a little older than I believe he should look in this one. He's got a lot of consternation on his face, but the detail overall is just absolutely phenomenal. I love that they have his furrowed brow in there, and that's kind of cool. And as far as the outfit on this one, I just really believe they knocked it out of the park. You can see all the different layers of the Jedi robes there. I love these new soft goods cloaks that they put on them. They're much smaller, so they fit better and don't look like he's in a tent. The detail on his pants and his boots is absolutely phenomenal. And he's got his razor, not his razor. He's got his communication device. Inside joke if you don't know what I'm talking about. And he's got his blue lightsaber there. And because he's a repack, Obi-Wan Kenobi is VC31. Next up we have Mace Windu, also from the Star Wars Attack of the Clones. He's got the goldish name pill and the goldish yellow background as well. And that image on the card right there is absolutely stunning. I love it. That captures the essence of Samuel L. Jackson and the character of Mace Windu perfectly. All business, serious. This appears to me when he's coming to attack Jango Fett and end that fight, but that's really cool. I do like the fact that there's kind of like a reddish orange on top of the card here to give it a little bit of gradient color in the background. But if you've watched my videos for a very, very long time, you'll know that the first video I did on any of my Star Wars action figures was the one that started it all, and that was the Phantom Menace Mace Windu dressed as a Jedi. And this one is such a callback and such a throwback to that earlier time in 1990 when I started collecting these action figures again, that it's really cool to have, and I think they did an excellent job on that. But let's get a look at that figure really fast. Okay, there's the figure up close, and I'm glad that this looks like this, and I'll tell you why. Because I think they did Samuel L. Jackson and Mace Windu a disservice with some of those earlier action figures, because he always had like a screaming face or his eyes closed or something in a lot of those, and it just really didn't lend itself to a lot of different scenarios to deal with. But this one, I think they did a much better job on his face sculpt, and I really like that one. That is actually really good. And except for the fact that his robe is a little longer here, there's not a whole lot of difference. Obviously, the Jedi tended to dress the same. He's got that same soft goods cloak. The belt looks good. The robe looks good. I like that the skirt part of this, and the same on the Obi-Wan now that I look at it again, is also partially soft goods as well, and that's really cool. And he's got good looking boots, and instead of coming with the razor communicator, he actually comes with his hilt instead, and he has the standard, or not the standard, the really cool purple lightsaber that we saw, that we all grew to love when it came to dealing with Mace Windu and Samuel L. Jackson. That's just a really good looking figure, and I'm glad that GameStop did not tear that one up too badly. And once again, he's a repack, so he's VC35. But there you have it, just a quick overview of Obi-Wan Kenobi reissued from Star Wars Attack of the Clones, and Mace Windu reissued from Star Wars Attack of the Clones as well. Two great looking figures. I really enjoy them. These are going to make great additions to my collection since I don't have them. And with that, if you're a member of my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. If you're a subscriber, thank you as well. And if you're neither of those, maybe think about doing one of those for me. But I will see you on the next video.